The 4-3-3 playing against the 3-5-2 formation can be one of the hardest matchups your team will face. But it doesn't have to be, if you keep in mind these key points about this common matchup. The 4-3-3 is a versatile formation that allows a team to commit large numbers to attack, while also transition quickly to defend. However, it does come with its limitations and drawbacks. In this video, we will analyze how the 4-3-3 matches up against the ever-popular 3-5-2 formation, a formation known for its attacking capabilities and ability to create overloads. First, we will look at the 4-3-3 and the strengths and weaknesses that come with playing this popular formation. The 4-3-3 formation has a backline of 4 defenders, along with 3 central midfielders. This can be with either 2 defensive midfielders and 1 attacker, or the opposite, depending on player profiles within the team. The 4-3-3 also has 3 forwards, typically stretched wide across the front line to create width and stretch the opposing backline. There are many ways that the 4-3-3 formation can be used, and can be traced back as early as the 1950s with the great England manager, Alf Ramsey. One of the major strengths of the 4-3-3 formation is its ability to create width through attacking full-backs and wingers, while still having balance in defence with 2 centre-backs and a defensive midfielder. Also, having 3 central midfielders, instead of 2 like many formations, allows for this formation to dominate the central areas. However, the 4-3-3 does come with its own weaknesses. For starters, the 4-3-3 can have trouble in transition against teams that play with 2 forwards. When both fullbacks are high, they leave their centre-backs in 1v1 situations. Also, the 4-3-3 can struggle to press an opposing build-out where that team has 2 centre-backs. If they choose to press with wingers, they can leave themselves exposed with the opposing team's full-backs. Now, let's take a look at the 3-5-2 formation, and advantages and disadvantages it comes with. The 3-5-2 formation is said to have been created specifically for Diego Maradona in the 1986 World Cup. Argentina's then head coach, Carlos Bilardo, is said to have created the formation as a way to create more space for his star player to play in. The 2 forwards of the 3-5-2 allow this shape to effectively press a back four and build out, making it tough for that team to play. It also has 3 central midfielders, allowing it to not be overwhelmed by opposing teams in central areas. However, the 3 centre-backs can become stretched in defence, particularly when their wing-backs are unable to recover in time. Also, the shape requires very specific player profiles in order to be successful, like fit and creative wide players, with strong and capable defenders with the ball. So, how do these 2 shapes match up when they come up against each other? The first thing you will notice is that when the 4-3-3 and 3-5-2 are laid out on the field, they create 1v1 situations all over. This can create some very interesting situations and problems for both teams. The first situation is how the 4-3-3 will look to build out. With each of its players already with an opponent, there will be an increasing dependence upon the goalkeeper to help create the initial overload. Once they have broken this press, they can now create overloads further up the field. However, this will require a quicker and more deliberate attack. Another situation that is created is how to defend the 2 forwards and 2 wide players. Due to these 1v1s, they can easily be exposed from a mistake at the back. So, they must determine how they will add another defender, and which player they will leave free as a result. One such solution is to tuck in the weak side winger, adding another midfielder. They then can use the 6 to shield the strong side 9, so that the centre-backs have more cover. Also, when pressing a build-out, the 4-3-3 must decide whether or not they will press the opposing goalkeeper. If they do, and they are unsuccessful, the opposing team now has the ability to create an overload higher up the field. Here are some tips for you to use to get the most out of these matchups against a 3-5-2. Play with your full-backs lower in build-out. This will invite the opposing wingers higher up the field to press. This isolates your wingers against the opposing centre-backs, allowing for quick play forward. Also, have your wingers check into the half space for the ball, looking to bait the opposing centre-backs out of the back line. This will open up channels for the 9 to run into, exploiting the space left. Some other things to consider are the individual defending abilities of your full-backs, the pace of both centre-backs, and whether you will use your wingers to press high or as added cover in the middle. Here are some potential changes you can make to your shape, based on problems that might occur during the match. If the opposing team is consistently finding the forwards in behind, particularly down the channel, a shape change might be needed. Unless you can begin to get pressure higher up the field to deny the initial service. One solution might be to switch to a 3-diamond 3. The extra centre-back will help to provide cover for the forwards. and this shape will allow you to use the extra midfielder in the diamond to shift wide to pick up the opposing wing back. Another scenario that might need a change is if your team is unable to break through the midfield line, particularly due to being 1v1 in midfield. Using your forward as a false 9 allows them to come back into midfield to receive the ball. If the opposing centre-back comes with the 9, a huge space is left for the wingers to exploit. If they do not, the 9 is free to receive and carry forward. Do you think this will help